It's week 13 of the NFL season, and this is a brand new Kickoff with Kelly. Good afternoon and welcome into Kickoff with Kelly. I'm Kelly Warner. A lot has happened since we last spoke, and before we move on to this week, let's take a look back with another edition of Love It or Leave It. The Titans are loving being back on top of the division, and they have King Henry to thank. Last year, the Titans were the big surprise, defeating Tom Brady and the Patriots, then the top-seeded Ravens, and ultimately to the AFC Championship. And even with all the things that have changed between this year and last, one thing has not. Teams still cannot stop Derrick Henry. A running back has won MVP just one time since 2007, Adrian Peterson in 2012. A lot of the MVP spotlight has been on Russell Wilson and other quarterbacks, but it's time to start considering Derrick Henry. In their rout of the Colts, Henry turned out 178 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground Sunday. He has exceeded 100 yards rushing 7 times this season and leads the league with 1,257 total. That puts him on pace for 1,828, a huge number in this NFL passing era. He's also a historically strong finisher, averaging 88.9 rushing yards in December. The Titans are one of my early picks to make some noise in the playoffs, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they and Derrick Henry finish out the year. The Panthers are leaving last week with another loss after a crazy game against the Vikings. Fans were hoping to see Teddy Bridgewater get the win against his former team, but in the end, the Panthers couldn't pull it out. Panthers rookie linebacker Jeremy Chinn pulled off a feat achieved by no one else in the NFL before. Chinn, who also plays some safety, scored a touchdown on 2 consecutive plays, marking the first time in NFL history that someone has scored a defensive touchdown on 2 straight plays. The Panthers' run game looked good, but they went away from the run game too early, and Bridgewater had yet another chance to win a game for the Panthers with the ball in his hands in the final minutes, only to botch it. A pass to an open DJ Moore on 3rd and goal. On top of Bridgewater being unable to come up with a big play when the Panthers needed it most, this loss is on the coaching staff, as Matt Rule said after the game. Star DJ Moore suffered an ankle injury on that missed pass, and Bridgewater injured his left arm. He said he is fine, and the Panthers have a bye coming up, so we'll have to wait and see if the 1-0 starter, PJ Walker, will make an appearance. Moving on to this week, let's take a look at Sunday with this week's can't miss matchups. The Browns have never been 8-3 since they returned to the league in 1999. After barely beating the Jaguars, they are the current owners of the AFC's top wildcard spot, and they're also guaranteed their first non-losing season since 2007. The Titans have regained their spot atop of the AFC South and looked great in their game against the Colts. Both of these teams could use all the wins they can get with the fierce state of competition in the AFC right now. The Browns most likely needing a wild card spot to end their long playoff drought, and the Titans looking to stay in the top of the mix. This game is in Tennessee, and the Titans have just looked so dominant, so I'm going Titans. This is a game I've been looking forward to, and it has a very good shot at being the game of the week. The NFC West is as cutthroat as it can get right now, and it's very possible 3 NFC West teams end up in the playoffs. But each of these teams needs all the wins they can get, especially this one. The Cardinals have been pushed down to the 3rd spot, but with their win over the Seahawks, a win or 2 over the Rams is just the ticket they need. The Rams are in 2nd, and with their win over the Seahawks, a win over the Cardinals is the kind of help they need to get into 1st. This is exciting because these teams have not played yet and actually end the season facing off, which could very well be the decider of a playoff spot. This particular game is in Arizona. The Rams are favored by 3, and I'm actually going to go with them for this one, but I think they split the 2. We've kicked off, and now it's time to cash out. This is where I'll give you my locks of the week. First off, the Packers covering 7 against the Eagles, then the Bills covering 2.5 against the Niners, and finally, Vikings-Jaguars under 52 total points. That'll do it for this week's Kickoff with Kelly. Remember, brand new episodes every Thursday at 3 o'clock, streaming on Facebook Live. And if you missed us, be sure to check it out on Penn State Sports Night's YouTube channel. I'm Kelly Warner. Enjoy your weekend.